Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to our little podcast we got going on here. Unfortunately, Dino couldn't make it this week. We were originally supposed to have Mostow scheduled for this week, but due to scheduling conflicts, looks like it's just Bev and Bachman this week. How you doing, Bachman?
Man, I'm chilling. It's unfortunate about Dino. Last I saw on Cassidy's story, he was wedding dress shopping at IKEA. So good for them. Super happy for them. Yeah, but I'm good, man. It's fucking Wednesday, getting through the day, ready to talk some shit and go through some matchups.
Hell yeah, brother. Had a bit of an eventful week for us last week. So starting off our little pod here, I'd like to go over last week. Had a couple big matchups. Me versus Tim, supposed to be matchup of the week. A lot of my players just kind of didn't show up. Really unfortunate, tough loss, but we're gonna bounce back and move on to the next one. Hopefully, I don't have to start as Austin Eckler this whole year, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, it wasn't. Eckler didn't even really play that bad, though. He wasn't even
No,
that
it
bad.
was fine. It was just
It
tough to see
was,
J.K. Dobbins put up 20, Adams put up 20, Nico Collins put up 20. Rough day.
yeah. Honestly, we'll get to this later in the podcast, but the whole fucking Jordan Mason thing really didn't help you out either, to be
Yeah.
honest. So, yeah, good job, Joe. Way to make the best team better. Shout out. But yeah, other than that, like, just kind of going through everything, like, just kind of Tim's team just kind of showed up, like, every single person went off other than Kelsey, pretty much, and Aaron Jones. But it's fucking Aaron Jones, so
Yeah, hard to lose ball games like that.
yeah. But
Moving on to our next matchup here, we had Dino playing Nap. This one was a bit of a nail biter. I think for a while I thought Dino was going to pull it out. I know Nap managed to play the wrong quarterback. I know it's unfortunate seeing Tua get knocked around like that, but pretty ironic that keeps happening. For a while, Nap had John Mechie, I believe, in his starting lineup, which was questionable. I think he just forgets that David Montgomery is on his team.
yeah, he put Roman over him, didn't
He did put Roman over him.
he? Yeah, that's I don't know about that one, Nappy. I don't know where your head's at there, but
And
it
to be
was,
fair, he had a tough matchup. I mean, Dino started Alexander Madison and
and,
Khalil
and
Shakir.
hey, as a Zamir Lloyd supporter over here, Madison's that guy apparently. So
I don't know what Dino's changed this year, but he somehow taught Quinn Johnson how to catch a touchdown pass. So good for him. I guess Harbaugh's turned that place around somehow.
yeah, but we all know this. Dino thrives in week 1 through 5. He always does. He always starts off strong, and then he's gonna have his his downfall. As if he's probably gonna go like he'll go like 4-1, maybe 3-2, and then he's just gonna go like one in however many weeks. like, but yeah, good pull for Nap there. Jake Elliott really proven why he's the heart and soul of the team, coming in clutch at the last, literally the last like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
but yeah,
MVP last year, man.
yeah.
MVP of our league, at least.
There's a new MVP kicker in town, and we'll get to him later. But
Moving on to our next matchup, we had Meatball playing Connor. It's a bit of a tight matchup for a while. I understand that Drake London put up over 2 points, so he ended up pulling it out last minute. But Connor really hung with him, especially considering he was starting Noah Gray, who just didn't get a target, I don't think. James Cook really went off for him. Singletary was competent.
yeah, honestly, James Cook has been carrying Connor's squad since like for the last like 2 years, so it's not really much surprise there. But honestly, like, hey, it's working out for him. His team's starting to rebuild. Like the fucking Evan McPherson stats are actually kind of nuts now that I'm looking at them. It's just like one of every single length field goal.
Oh my
So
God, I didn't
yeah,
see that.
right. like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that was it was way closer than I thought it was gonna be. Probably owing to a lot of the Josh Allen dud that he would have kind of put up there. But Joe's team pretty consistent this week, kind of overall. His running backs pretty much all put up around 15 points. Like can't really ask for much more than that. That's more than either of us can say. So,
Yeah,
and
you didn't have anyone that really like shit the bed. I mean, Terry McLaurin did Terry McLaurin things, as in put up under 50 yards or whatever.
yeah, his 5-point wonder over there. But yeah, I saw Tony Pollard's now on the block for Joe. So, Joe's making moves. He's making trades. So see how
Yeah,
it's working out for him.
hopefully he trades him away before he plays me.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I'm just eating my words on whatever I said about James Cook because I'm sure it wasn't good. James Cook probably was good pick, good pick.
Didn't you offer a first round pick for him?
This is off season. I offered two for him,
Really?
but yeah, actually, I think it was a first and a second. I don't think I ever got the two.
Hmm.
I offered a lot for him.
Hmm. Regardless. I mean, yeah. It just doesn't really. I mean, okay, that's a whole other topic, but just says he doesn't really make sense for Connor's team. Like by the time Connor is going to be good, or hopefully be good, in like probably like what, like 3 years, 4 years or so, like
Yeah,
James Cook is going to be out of his prime at that point. So I feel
we'll
like he's
keep him
probably.
competitive. Keep him out of the basement. Won't have to pay for a jersey. I think.
Yeah, I know, but you gotta like, I don't know, scrap it, take the two first, rebuild faster. You're good. Like it's not going to be of use to you anyway. So just my thoughts as someone that's desperately in need of a running back.
Yeah, I don't
Someone
think we have much room to
So,
talk.
so someone hit the DM. Someone please hit the DMs. This is my my call. I'll accept pretty much any trade. Uh,
I think
um,
Alexander Madison might be coming your way.
no, actually, not him.
Not that
Also,
desperate yet.
no, I'm not that desperate yet. But yeah, we'll get there. Um, yeah. Well,
Moving
anyway,
on, we
yeah,
had a matchup between two tall, skinny guys. Kerr playing Jimmy. Kerr managed to win this one, I'd say, pretty handily. Kerr's kind of got just a nice depth to his team where I understand some of them aren't always putting up points, but like, fuck.
I mean,
That's
honestly, yeah, like James Conner, extremely. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, obviously, but like extremely consistent. He was doing that shit last year too. Everyone was hating on him. I feel like for no James Conner for no reason. Like he's kind of been a tank the last like 2 years or so. Like very consistent yards per carry. Like just huge workhorse back at this point is always getting all the receptions too. So it's like I don't know, like not bad. Like the problem is like if Kerr has an injury in his running back room, that's going to be the death of this team.
he's
But
got he's got Connor's backup in Trey Benson though. So I mean, if something happens there, he's fine.
yeah, I guess that's fair.
Brees Hall goes down, I think he might be fucked. I mean, moves Jerome Ford up. I just don't think he's got great depth.
Yeah. And plus, like, you got to realize, like, Hurts' team is doing this with Jamar Chase, like, pretty handedly underperforming the first 2 weeks, like, pretty
Yeah.
bad. So, I mean, it's really only going to go up from there, and Sam Laporta, too. So, like, this team's going to be scary. I am a little shocked by Jimmy's team, actually, though. I thought they were going to come out of the gate a little stronger, personally, but
I agree, but he is starting Lab McConkey, and it's never great to be starting rookies like that. He's also starting Greg Dortch. His team's kind of lacking in depth. His
yeah.
positions are kind of bottoming out right now.
I mean, yeah, well, he's got it wrong. He has Puka and Addison both on the bench right now, which is unfortunate, but I mean,
He's already taken some injuries in his team.
injuries are high right now. Everyone's starting to feel it a little bit, so it's part of the game, though.
Speaking of injuries,
Stop that.
Mostow played Eugene. Mostow definitely got bit by the injury bug this week, losing potentially three of his starters because we know Cup's going to be out for a while. I know he dodged the IR. Pacheco did not dodge the IR, and Mixon looks like he's having issues with his ankle. You kind of need that if you're a running back. But Huge managed to pull this one out. This was also a bit of a nail biter. Managed to get a win with his tight end putting up negative points. Pretty impressive. The rest of his team kind of just went off. He's got Kyler, who I think was the best quarterback on the week, who he'll do that every once in a while. He'll just put up 40 points, and you kind of got to live with that if you're up against him. But every once in a while, he'll put up five, and
Yeah.
that's just it.
Just the consistency, though. Like just looking at like every single player is between 10 and 15 points. Like that's honestly sometimes all you need. Like it's better than having the one guy that can like I'd rather have someone that's consistently putting up like 13 15 points and someone that has the potential to put up like 28 but also could put up like two.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones. But yeah.
Brian Thomas so far looking like the best rookie, at least rookie receiver I've seen.
Yeah. Fair. I think I'm pretty strong. I mean, also, I know this is kind of unrelated, but we can't gloss over. I want to so badly, but we can't gloss over Kamara's dominance this week.
Yeah, that was nuts, and he still lost, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like,
45 is crazy.
that's yeah, that's an all-star day from him. So good for you, Masta. You still have something going for your team. Yeah.
He actually, oh yeah, he would have won if he played Derek Carr. What a shame, Mostab. What a shame.
Just bad management overall. Mm,
I think we were expecting that.
mm.
Up last here, we got Bachman playing Sam. How'd you feel about this one, Bachman?
Pretty good. I mean, receivers are pretty much doing what my receivers normally do, put up pretty solid numbers overall. So pretty much carrying the squad this week. Pretty average week out of Lamar. I mean, 20 points, it's whatever. Like I can live with that to an extent. And then you have my dead, or I don't even know what to call my running backs at this point. They're just useless. Like I honestly wish I could start all my tight ends in their places. But Rashad White's fine. He'll get the receiving yards. I'm not worried about him, but the rest of them can just, go rot. So, but my MVP, who needs a running back when your kicker is putting up 20 points a game every single week? Brandon Aubrey, MVP. Like,
I'm pretty surprised you're already moving on from Young Wei Koo.
oh, he's done. He's dead
He,
to me. No,
he was a big part of the roster for a while, and now
he's
you're
on the
just
block. Now he's my heart and soul. He was there was rumors of him joining Mostow's team, but I couldn't do him dirty like that.
wow.
It means too much to me. Um, yeah, but that's on my side. I mean, I think I was expecting to beat Sam. I think Sam was expecting me to beat him too. But big day for Marv. Finally had his little breakout that he was looking for. It's
Yeah.
actually kind of terrifying playing against him as he puts up 29 points in the first like 6 minutes of the game. But yeah, other than that, like pretty much Sam's team is kind of what we expected. Kittle had a big week. Nothing really too much to talk about there, I don't think.
Something kind of surprising was Josh Reynolds put up 93 yards. I did not notice that until right now.
Oh damn.
Yeah, right. Is he the wide receiver one? Like that's kind of nuts. That's out of left field too.
I mean, honestly, maybe like Portland Sutton. Like, I don't know. Javonte's not doing shit. Like, so yeah, someone's gotta get the yards.
The ball's got to move at some point.
That's at some point. Unless, I mean, to be fair, the Broncos probably didn't really do that the last like 2 seasons. So huge hater on them, but still. Uh,
Also happening this week, we had a bit of a big move, I would say, bigger. We had a bit of a trade, like about hours before game time started. It was between Joe and Tim, the trade man. Calvin Ridley and a third to Joe for Jordan Mason and a second. I want to get your thoughts on this, Bachman. I know we talked about it briefly before, but
I just don't like. I just don't get it from Joe's perspective. Like, I understand like if you pick someone up for nothing, you want to flip him and get something out of it. That's great. However, Tim, if I mean, I'm assuming Joe is trying to win this year. His team's good enough to. But Tim is one of the biggest threats in the league, and he just lost his most valuable player. Why would you give him the backup to his most valuable player that just put up 20 points in a week? It doesn't make any sense. And you didn't even get enough out of it. Like, I also know I have sources confirmed that Tim would have done that trade without the without you having to give up the second. So I don't know what the whole thought process was. I mean, what are your thoughts? Like,
I I think it makes sense from Joe's perspective. He's kind of just capitalizing on the value that he's got because it's like Jordan Mason past like 6 weeks is kind of just not gonna do anything, I don't think. So he's capitalizing on it while he can, getting Calvin Ridley out of it, and now he's currently trying to trade off Tony Pollard, and then plug Calvin Ridley into his lineup, I think is his plan.
I guess, but he was benching both Pollard and Ridley last week.
I don't know. It's a little beyond me, and it really sucks because it happened against me. But I
Yeah.
believe both DK and Calvin Ridley outscored Jordan Mason this week. Am I wrong? I
Uh,
don't know how much
so,
Ridley put up, but I think I
so,
still would have lost.
yeah, but I mean, honestly, it's one of the. Well, I mean, I forget who I was talking. Maybe it was Tim, but like Jordan Mason is but he's like 24, 25, I think. Like
Yeah.
he could. I mean, for all he basically made that trade, like whatever. Like for all he knows, like Mason could become the Niners running back once McCaffrey's gone. Like, we don't really know what's gonna happen. So it's like
I,
there's
I kind of doubt that he's a restricted free agent after this year, and CMC is not. So I kind of think they're just going to let him walk. But he realistically could be involved in someone else's backfield. If he goes to like Denver or somewhere, he could be heavily involved, and it's just it
okay,
works
Scott.
out.
Okay, Jamonte's coming back. He's gonna
Javante left years ago, man. He's not coming back.
he's gonna awaken in freshman form soon. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's whatever. I just think at some point, like it just should have kind of stayed what it was because you could have kept Tim down a little bit. Everyone would love to see Tim out of the playoffs for their own team's sake. So I mean, I don't agree with it. Whatever. We move on, I guess. But
Moving on, I wanted to highlight our matchup of the week. We're not going to go through all of them. Trying to keep this a little briefer than we did last year. For our matchup of the week, we're picking Mostow versus Jimmy. Bit of a solid matchup all around. Derek Carr, a little under projected, playing the Eagles. We'll see how it is. He's been on fire recently, but I don't think Carr fires are something you want to be a part of. He's also starting Samaje Perine after all those injuries he took, which isn't great. I don't understand why he just doesn't put Kamara up into that lineup, and then, well, I guess who else is going to start?
he doesn't have anyone else on. I mean, could start Mike Williams.
You start Yak Ertz.
He could start Yackers. Yeah, I don't know. His Mostov's team's looking a little tough right now, to be honest with you. But
Taking a couple hits. We'll see if it lasts. Ayuk hasn't looked like the same player he has last year, but
I mean, yeah, I think everyone's exaggerating that a little bit. Like he didn't practice the entire training camp. Like you got to give him a couple weeks to like get back into it.
no,
Plus, like now with Debo's out for like the next like probably 2 weeks, so like that'll give him some time to shine.
it
Hopefully,
should up his targets. Maybe he'll compete better with CD Lamb because he's going to need them.
yeah.
Lastly, I wanted to do a little MVP picks for the year. Last week we had 2 votes for Baker Mayfield. Kind of shocking. I don't know if you're a little shocked by that, but he really went out of the gates hot. Um, who was your pick this year, Bachman?
Oh, as of right now, I mean, I don't know how anyone could choose anyone differently. The one and only Brandon Aubrey, kicker of the Dallas Cow. It fucking pains me to say it, but the guy's he's essentially an RB1 at this point. Like based on his performances last year, I think he put up under 10 points maybe 3 times like the entire year last year. Someone factored that. But like this year, he's starting off monster game week 1 with 21 points, monster week 2 with 17 points. With the Cowboys offense, I don't see that slowing down at any point or time. So like, I don't know. Like I think is a pretty locked and loaded. He's the new Jake Elliott, in my opinion. Like,
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know, man.
It's unreplaceable.
Dude, he casually just drilled a 66-yarder and just
Yeah,
like
but it didn't
walked
count.
away like it was nothing. Like,
Yeah, it didn't count.
yeah, it didn't, but it
Hey, you could
still
find someone doing that on
it would have
practice
been
field.
good.
Who cares?
And let me tell you, it would have been good from over 70.
Yeah, but it wasn't, was
Yeah, well, no.
it? My pick this week is going to be Devon Achane. I'm going back to the trend of picking people on my team. Achane is going to be my pick purely because he's the only person holding my running back room together. He's kind of the only one left. And he might be the only person on the Dolphins left holding that team together. We'll see if Mostert comes back, how he's doing. But last week, he kind of looks like the offense, like all of it together.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we'll see that continue, and I will continue to win.
bro, it's kind of nuts. You really are one running back injury away from your team just completely collapsed.
But we're not one running back injury away because that's not gonna happen. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're worried about. I got Bucky Irving anyway. You're one running back entry away from the same
Yeah, but I'm admitting
place.
it. Yeah, but I'm fully accepting it at this point. Like, and to be honest, I'm not even a running back injury away. I'm not even sure if we're saying Rashad White is exactly like carrying the backfield of my team. Like, honestly, Zeke might be my most reliable running back right now. At least I know he'll put up like 5 points a week.
Dark days.
Like, I don't know. I mean, no, Rashad White's good. I'm cool with him. He'll be fine. But worst comes to worst, I hop in some. I told him this is my call. Someone make me some trade offers for running backs. Like, I'm entertaining stuff, but please let it be a starting running back. Dino, once you see this, do not send me a trade offer for Alexander Madison. Thank you.
I just want one little quick comment, one little quick topic. Is Mostow, is it over? Because I know last week we talked about is he back? Is
Oh
it
no,
over?
no, he's not. Moscow's not over. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's
It was
completely gone.
nice while it lasted. He had his week. You're
He was
done.
the one. He was the 1 week. He was the 1 week wonder. It
Yeah.
happens. Like, I mean,
His
kind of what we were.
insanity run is just done. We understand you're second in wins. Put it on your wall or something because we don't expect it to continue.
He's second in wins because everyone else has. That's the thing. Wait, so we've never actually brought this topic up before. He's second in wins because every other person other than you at one point has pretty much blown up their team.
I believe so. Except for like Jimmy.
I mean, Jimmy
I,
kind of did last year.
everybody else, I think, is blowing up their team in some way.
Yeah, at some point, and they purposely lost. He's the only one that has it, which
Yeah.
is why he's been able to net more wins over 4 seasons.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, regardless, yeah, Mostow, your team's in trouble, buddy. I hate to be the one to say it, but I don't really see how you could even potentially be a top 6 team at this point. I mean, I hope you prove me wrong because it would be really fucking entertaining to watch you like upset some people as long as it's not me. But we'll
My
see how.
projection's moving back down to the 7 seed. I moved you up to the 6 seed for a week, but he's going back down.
And he might be more of like a. I think he's an 8.
He's an
He might
8.
he might be the team at
I
this
don't
point.
know. I think towards the end of the year, whoever's at 7 is going to be like, I'm not making the playoffs. I'm going to tank a little for the draft pick. And then
I
Moffat's just
don't,
not going to do that.
I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know. Like, I think obviously it's going to be Sam, Connor, and Dino in the bottom 3 positions. However, that's going to go. Who the hell knows how the fucking rest of the year plays out? But then I think Mostow's pretty locked into that next spot, in my opinion. At least how his team's structured right now.
Yeah.
Like, he has so many injuries. He wasn't prior to that, but with the injuries, I think he's pretty much But
Just another quick little comment before we go. I've been attempting to put together like a trade pick for all the trades across the years, tracking over the draft picks, where they're going, who they end up turning out to be. Could be fun to look back on. That takes so much goddamn time, though. I'm not even through the first year. So we'll see if that comes out. On that note, I think we're all wrapped up here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Any last comments before we go, Bachman?
oh man, I mean, sorry it was a shorter episode this week, guys. We don't have our supreme leader overlord Dino to guide us. So
We're on limited tech here. So
anyway, see you guys.
everybody for listening.
See you guys next week. Moss
Good
out.
luck.
Sell the team.
Yeah, sell the team.